The nursery was started in '89 by a man named Eric Yadazewski. He was a native plant enthusiast and I think worked for the forestry. And we bought it from him.
Whenever my head starts to hurt, before it goes from bad to feeling worse, I turn off my phone, I get down low and put my hands in the dirt. I try to stop the world from moving so fast, try to get a grip on where I'm at and simplify this dizzy life and put my feet in the grass. I'm going.
So they poop down here. Well, one of the things about rabbit poop is a little ball, so it's very easy to handle. It's not real messy. So then we can take that, and then there are 2 boxes behind the rabbits. Those are filled with earthworms. So then we layer the compost that comes in and leaves, and then we have potting soil that we can either use in the garden or in the nursery. So what would normally be going to the dump now becomes a product that we could use, and we're not having to buy in potting soil. So it creates a waste product into a usable product, which in the long run saves us money and then of course the environment as a whole. This is another area where we kind of experiment in the sense that we use traditional row gardening over on this side. Some things work better in row gardens because of the way they pollinate. Corn being one of them. That's why you always see corn in rows, because the wind blows the tassels back and forth, and that helps pollinate and makes the ears of corn. Beans also work better in rows than they do if they're planted individually. But things like squash and collards and peppers and bell peppers and stuff like that, we find work better in the raised garden areas because you can get to the plant all the way around 360 degrees. So the following year I got the idea of wrapping the trunks up, because that is the most critical part of these trees, is the graft. We took towels and blankets, I went to Goodwill, bought stuff on them, wrapped them all up, tied them up tight, and just left them. Didn't wrap them up in anything, didn't put anything on the leaves.
I'm going back to work.
The chickens started out as part of that green movement where we thought we would have the chickens, they would use the crap for fertilizer and so forth. Well, we found out that didn't work out too well because, one, chicken manure is very hot when it first is produced, and then by the time you get around to using it, it's almost evaporated. There's just not much left of it. There's enough bacteria in the chickens that by the time they have it, that bacteria eats it up even once it hits the ground. What we do use the chickens for, though, is weed control. We will cut the weeds off the pots. We don't pull them, we cut them. Most weeds are trying to grow to produce seeds and create the next generation. Then we'll take the weeds and dump them in here. That's what you see all this brown. That's where we take the weeds. They will eat the weeds for the grain and for the seeds and have something to scratch, and they will break the weeds down and actually compost them. And then it intermingles with the chicken manure, and you get a very microorganism rich soil.
We are wild. We are wild. Started with emotion at the bottom of the ocean. Now we're swinging from the tops of the trees. We are animals. We are wild. We are wild. And to truly be forgiven, we must all get back to living with the land in harmony. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth.